Hi, and welcome to 60 for 30, a Magic the Gathering budget project that looks to get you a playable 60 card deck for just around $30. Today, we're going to be looking at a modern list that, based on a lot of requests that we got, is going to deviate from some of the aggro decks we've been doing. This time, we're going to go more combo. So, without further ado, let's dive in to Heartless Summoning. So, this is a fairly well-known combo. What happens is you play the enchantment Heartless Summoning, which costs 1 generic mana and 1 black, and it makes all your creature spells cost 2 generic mana less to cast, but all your creatures get -1/-1, which is a pretty steep payoff. But we're not going to use it mainly to cast great creatures, we're going to win through this combo. Myr Retriever is a 2-drop 1/1. So what that means is when we play it, it will be free, cost 0 mana, and it will die instantly upon resolving. And when it dies, you get to return an artifact card from your graveyard to your hand. So if we have a Myr Retriever in the graveyard and we play another one, with Heartless Summoning out for 0 mana, we will take the Myr Retriever from our graveyard, put it in our hand, put the one on the battlefield in the graveyard, and rinse and repeat. This results in a win when we have Altar of the Brood, which whenever a permanent, which counts creatures, enters the battlefield, we mill our opponent for 1. So this is an instant mill combo. So we do this all with these 4 combo pieces, the Heartless Summoning, the 2 Myr Retriever, the Altar of the Brood, and we mill our opponent out instantly. We are also going to take advantage of Heartless Summoning and play some really good creatures. Myr Superion, like the Myr Retriever, only costs 2 generic mana, and is a 5/6 body. That'll be a 4/5 body with Heartless Summoning, and it has the downside that you can only cast it with the mana produced from creature spells, but we're not using any mana to cast it, so it's just free for us if we have Heartless Summoning out. We also have Illusory Angel, which has a drawback that you can only cast it if you've cast another spell this turn. But when we're going along with our Myr Retrievers and our Myr Superions, we're going to have lots of free or 1-drop creatures. So Illusory Angel will be very easy to play with Heartless Summoning, and when we play it, it'll be a 3/3 flyer for just 1 mana. And then we've also got Noxious Gearhulk, which with Heartless Summoning will be a 4/3 creature with Menace for 4 mana, and it will kill a creature when it enters and will gain life. So this is kind of a curve topper, a nice way to have some removal stapled to creatures. We also have some enablers because we need a lot of combo pieces. We're going to play Glint-Nest Crane, which is going to cost us 1 mana with Heartless Summoning, being an 0/2 flying creature. But we're going to look at the top 4 cards of our library and we can get an artifact and put it in our hands. So that'll be a Myr Retriever, an Altar of the Brood, a Myr Superion, you name it, we can get it. We're also going to run Mulldrifter, which is great because we can either pay 3 mana to cast a 1/1 flying creature and draw 2 cards with Heartless Summoning, or we can pay its evoke cost for 1 mana and just draw 2 cards and not get the 1/1 flying creature, which is what we'll do most of the time, which is pretty strong. And we've also got Trinket Mage, which will be a 1/1 creature, but more importantly, it tutors up our Altar of the Brood, which is our win condition. We're also running Muddle the Mixture, which might be the most important card of the deck, because yes, it's a counter spell, but for 3 mana, we can discard it and search our library for either Heartless Summoning or a Myr Retriever, any spell that costs 2. We can even get a Myr Superion with this if we're going for the creature route, which we'll rarely do, but is an option. The creatures are there mostly to slow down our opponent, or to eke out some wins if they have Graveyard Hate or the combo's not lining up. It's the transmute that gives us a lot of redundancy here and helps the combo that requires 4 pieces hit fairly regularly. And then we're also going to run Ultimate Price as some removal to make sure we don't die too quickly. The lands are pretty basic: 4 Guildgates, 8 Swamps, and 10 Islands. So what this deck looks like in Magical Christmas Land, which will happen very infrequently, is you play turn 1 Altar the Brood and pass the turn. On turn 2, you can spend your 2 mana to play Heartless Summoning, and if you have 2 Myr Retrievers in your hand, you mill your entire opponent out on turn 2 and pass the turn, which means you can win the game when they have 1 land in play, which is absolutely disgusting, and the main reason that you might want to play this deck. So, in testing this what I learned is that we're usually going to want to focus on the combo. And what I mean by that is Muddle the Mixture can get any card that costs 2 out of our deck. So we have the choice between Myr Superion or Myr Retriever when we have Heartless Summoning out. When we don't have any other combo piece except Heartless Summoning, it's so tempting to just grab the Myr Superion because it's a free 4/5 creature. But it feels, in my experience, even though the combo feels really far away, we have enough pieces to find it that you almost always want to use Muddle the Mixture to dig for combo pieces. Almost always. The real key to the deck is figuring out when to go the creature route and commit your resources and your Muddle the Mixtures to that win condition versus the combo. The price, about $26 in the paper world and just around $7.50, $7.60 online from Card Hoarder. There are some variations you can go with this. We're playing an admittedly very strange deck because it's half combo, half creature, and generally you want your decks to be very streamlined. The problem with that being that I don't like all-in combo decks that don't have any kind of backup plan, and I don't think it costs us a lot to run the few really efficient creatures that we're running. We still hit the combo pretty regularly, so I don't think it's too bad the way that I have it drawn up. But you can tweak this to go more all-combo oriented, where you run more transmutes like Dimir Infiltrator to make sure you're hitting your combo pieces, you run more Trinket Mages, or you can kind of leave the combo behind and go more for creatures like Lupine Prototype that was in an original build of this deck that I came up with, but we're not really emptying our hand a whole lot the way that the deck is currently structured for combo, but if we made that more of a priority, Lupine Prototype would be a free 4/4 creature with Heartless Summoning. And the one thing that I didn't really touch on earlier that I should have is when you're playing this deck, you need Heartless Summoning or Muddle the Mixture to get Heartless Summoning in your opening hand. You should mulligan almost anything that doesn't have Heartless Summoning, because the Myr Superion looks great in your hand, but if you don't have the Heartless Summoning, the deck literally doesn't have a way to cast that card in it. So we really, really need a turn 2 or 3 Heartless Summoning, or we're going to lose a lot of games for nothing. So you're going to mulligan a lot. Between the 4 Muddle the Mixtures and the 4 Heartless Summonings, you'll have lots of opening hands that have both of them or one of them in them, which is what you want. But keep in mind, you need that card for this deck to do anything. Alright, that's it. Hopefully you liked our deviation from aggro. We have a few more combo, control, mid-range decks down the line. If you found this at all interesting or entertaining, like the video, subscribe, comment. Let's talk about this deck. I think it's a fun one. And if you play this deck, let me know how it goes, because I think it is awesome. Good luck out there, guys and gals, and have fun.